To head with the one and only former 9-ball world champion, Earl the Pearl Strickland.
The room is divided. Half going for Earl the Pearl Strickland. The other half have made a 5,500 mile trip to the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Their man is Steve Davis. His job to draw this match level. What will happen? There is some atmosphere in here tonight. If you've just joined us, welcome to Las Vegas. Welcome to viewers around the world. It couldn't be closer. USA 6, Europe 5, and the crowd are standing by for some drama. Two of the greatest Cuban on the planet, head to head. Steve Davis against Earl the Pearl Strickland. Your commentators, Jim Weish and Sid Waddell.
It's gonna be a lollapalooza of a match. Script by Shakespeare, extra dialogue by Herman Melville. Could be a classic, Jim.
Well, Sid, who will outlast who? Will it be sweet revenge for Earl Strickland? Lest we forget, Davis hit the last ball to win the Mosconi Cup against the man in his chair, Earl Strickland, only a year ago. How will it unfold in 2003?
And who can forget the drama at the World Championships when Steve Davis dogged the ball and let Earl in. Earl screamed, as you saw there. He dogged it. He dogged it. Always tension, always marvelous pool when these two meet.
The one straight into the side pocket, but Steve's got no shot on the two. But there's a wall of colors for him to hide that cue ball behind. You know, you've just got to feel that Oliver Ortman, the European captain, he's got to feel absolutely terrific about this matchup. The way that the European team is fighting back here on day 3, who better to call out now than one of the greatest Cuban that any cue sport has ever seen.
Nicknamed the Nugget or Romford Slim. With apologies to Mr. Davis, who wrote The Hustler. Loves the game! Came to it 10 years ago from snooker. Wouldn't practice all that much because he thought it would affect his snooker, Davis. But he is marvelled at by the likes of Rempe and Strickland himself. High respect, even though we have seen Needle coming instigated by Earl.
Well, Steve's a little unlucky there. He's left a window between the colors for Strickland to be able to hit this too direct. Mind you, he looks like the Terminator right now.
Perpetrator, more like. Genius of the game. Not using that word loosely. Bound for the Hall of Fame.
He's left a chance here for Davis. That too available. Strickland not one to hide his emotion. He'll let you know very quickly what he thinks of his efforts.
Fissile material, Strickland, up against interesting Davis. Brilliant shot.
Steve admittedly hasn't been at his best this year, but still all the experience of 6 world snooker crowns at the table. We've seen what he can do when he puts his mind to it, even in 9-ball.
Absolutely. Who can forget what happened in Cardiff when he beat 3 world champions on 3 consecutive days? Takahashi and Efren Reyes and Suki hunched the genius from North Carolina.
A hushed, packed crowd here at the MGM Grand, and they are going to be treated to a spectacle. One they'll be talking about possibly for years to come.
Absolutely. One of the United Kingdom's greatest ever sportsmen in play, Steve Davis, a master. He talks to dart players the intricacies of darts. He tells cricketers they're holding the bat wrong. He studies every sport. He studied 9-ball. He worked on his break. It's not quite as strong as other parts of his play, but his positional use of the white gym often makes the greats gasp.
And you certainly wouldn't expect any open misses from Steve Davis. He's used to a 6x12 surface with 6 pockets. And you know that Strickland has already resigned himself to the fact that the opening rack will be going the way of Europe.
Hello, Stephen, my old friend. I've come to dice with you again. This 9 for first blood. They're from Essex. Davis's home county. Those lads are lasses in the front row.
If you didn't know he was prepared for it, you know now. You're going to see a lot of familiar looks from Steve Davis, many times unwilling to take his seat, gathering his concentration and his composure.
Thank you.
It's a long way back for Earl Strickland. The alternating break format, 4-0. You can't see the Pearl fighting his way back into this. Davis has got too many chances at the table to break, and a chance here to punctuate what would be an emphatic victory.
5-zip on the cards, big time.
Looking for a shot at the 1, and he may be able to get through to the edge of it to pocket it. Very close. The 2 over the bottom corner. It's very close. He just needs to see the edge of that 1, but that 6 could be coming to save the Americans for the time.
Spot on, Jim. But if he can wiggle this one down, it's terribly thin. I think he'd be in clover.
If he can't see it, he'll be pushing. But again, where do you push here to not leave Strickland an aggressive reply?
I've got no idea.
This has to be like torture to Team USA. And I have to say, I went down to the European practice room before day 3 kicked off, and you would never have known they were 6-3 down, Sid. Marcus Shamat had his his fist clenched.
Didn't know you could bring birds into the premises.
First day with the new lips. But I can tell you that the European team, they felt it. They knew they were going to be ripe for it, and they are. They've shown it.
We saw how strong the bonding was a year ago in London.
What a fight back they have shown us here on day 3.
Checking out one of the possibilities to give Earl more problems.
Steve looks like he's going to kick at this one. He doesn't want to leave the aggressive option to Strickland. The controls are in his hand, and he's unwilling to relinquish it.
It's running. It might run to a snooker. You wouldn't believe it.
Fortune favors the brave, and look at the nugget.
That towel in Davis's hand is not for throwing in. Take it from us.
He's got to be careful not to leave this. Is there a pocket for the 1? Who could have foreseen a 4-0 and possible whitewash against Earl Strickland?
Well, as you said, Jim, they were cock-a-hoop, the lads, even looking forward to a fight when they had 1 foot in the grave. The psychological boost on the positive side of this Davis performance, if it keeps going like this, incalculable.
Coming into day 3 here, neither Strickland nor Rodney Morris had seen defeat, and they might well both taste it here. And given that effort from Davis, it's on the cards.
The card in question for Earl is the hangman. Tarot-wise, Davis should whistle through these. No bother. Blue 2's a tap-in. Back out to center table.
He has been in complete control right from the outset. It's been one-way traffic heading all the European way. And everything now perched and waiting for Davis. He clears hurdle after hurdle. And you really can't see him failing. A lot of European fans in attendance here in America.
5,500 miles. A lot of these Brits have come to support the Europe team, and I bet they think it's worth every red cent of their money for entertainment like this.
Vandenberg passed the baton to Suke and Homan, and they in turn passed it to Davis.
First 5-zip scoreline of the tournament. Coming up now. Sure as eggs. This for 5 now. Europe go level. 6 apiece. 3 on the trot. And the pearl whitewashed.
A monumental victory from Steve Davis. All to play for, 6 apiece. Unbelievable turn of events here on day 3. Who could have foreseen this? They have yet to drop a match. Euro flags waving throughout the MGM Grand. This 9, a 5-0 whitewash over one of the greatest human, Earl Strickland. He bowed to Steve Davis today.
6 apiece.